Hello, and welcome to my worst skin day in the entire year of 2020. Ready? Let me just zoom you in. I have no idea what's going on because my skin just literally overnight erupted with like this huge, I like to call him Bob, and this is Kevin. And like, I don't know if you can see them, but there are like lots of little pimples like in the entire year this year. I've had like maybe one or two small pimples at a single time. Like my skin has stabilized in a way, not really, but like I have not had to deal with this in a very long time, and it kind of made me. Oh wait, let me zoom you out. That was horrible. It kind of made me really, I guess, realize that I have been taking like the clear skin days where I could go out without anything on my face and I would not feel insecure at all. I realized I have taken all of that for granted, and I was just playing with skincare and all of that stuff, and not really watching what I eat in terms of say sugar. And I've been indulging in a lot of cheese recently, so dairy always makes me break out. I guess this is kind of like payback time. I don't know. But it's really, it's for me, it's my skin telling me to get my shit together. So even though I feel really, really bad about my skin and my choices leading up to this, I also realized that this is a great chance to share with you one of my favorite products. And it is the one thing that has never failed me cover up like really gross pimples like this that are cystic and under the skin and you can't do anything about them. And I have just the trick, like the one product that I will stand like no matter what. I have backups of them, backups of backups, and I would never bow to another concealer, I think, in my life because this baby has never let me down. Of course, in these times, we are generally not going out a lot and we probably have our faces covered with masks, which is a good or bad thing as we're discovering now with maskne. But just in case you are going out and you do have really, really bad or like pimples that make you really conscious about, or if you jumping on a Zoom call and you just want to quickly cover up that one very unfortunate zit, then this is the video for you and this is the product that you will want to watch. And the product I'm talking about is, of course, the Makeup Forever Full Cover Camouflage Extreme Cream. Extreme Camouflage Cream. Yeah, it's basically one of their cult favorite products, and I really, really love this since I discovered this when I was in high school. I've never stopped using this. I always come back whenever I have like a skin emergency that I need to cover up. I can always count on this, guys. So like I have backups of backups, but I use these shades and they are in 4, 5, and 7. I think I have 6 somewhere, but I just don't know where it is. But I kind of go between 5 and 7, depending on how light or how tan I am at the moment. Okay, before I begin, I just want to preface this by saying that the best thing you can do when you're having a bad breakout is to not put any makeup on, not wear any. And this is for the situations where you absolutely have no choice. You have to go out and you have to face the world and you have a really bad skin day. So remember, if you're not going anywhere, just let your skin breathe and let it heal by itself. This will work so much better and it will heal much faster if you don't put makeup, if you don't wear makeup for like a while. But if you absolutely have to, this is the one trick that will work. So before I go in with the concealer, I like to go in with a foundation first, just so that it covers up most of what I need covered up. You don't have to do this. I just find it easier. If you're only going to be seen on a Zoom call, then you probably can skip this anyway, because unless you have like really fancy kind of web cameras, if you're using a laptop to jump on a Zoom call, just go with the concealer and you don't need all the other steps because people can't tell anyway. It doesn't really matter what foundation you use, because that's not a point anyway. Today I'm going to talk about the concealer. I'm going to speed through this. I've been telling my husband like not to look at me, don't touch my face, and all of that stuff, because I've been feeling really down because just of like what's going on here. I honestly haven't had bad skin in like a year, and I'm talking like crystal clear skin, nothing at all. And I honestly thought I was doing such a great job at like my skincare, even though I'm in places that I'm in a place with a different climate, and I'm using different products and different water hardness and all of the environmental stuff. I just thought I was dealing with it quite well, and my skin was like sort of for the first time in my life reflecting the efforts and my hard work that I put into maintaining it in such a kind of a significant way, I would say. But so this was kind of a huge slap in the face, like a slap in the face, literally. But I've been really down about it, and I feel really self-conscious, and I don't even want to think about wearing a mask. If you're using a beauty blender like me, be do as I say and not as I do. Be really gentle on like active spots, and after you use whatever sponges you have been using with like on your acne or troubled skin, you want to make sure that you give this a wash, like to get rid of any bacteria. To be extra careful about this, because you can make the outbreak worse if you use it on the affected areas and then you go in to the good areas in your skin. Your skin is like so reflective of your general health that it's hard not to feel sad or like affected when it's basically telling you that, hey, you're not doing so well, you're not making good choices, and you see it on your face. And I hate it because all of these breakouts, they have repercussions that last for months, because the pimples come up, they take a while to mature, and then they scar when they leave, and they cause hyperpigmentation and all of that nonsense, and it all just like it takes months for like everything to clear up, and I'm just not looking forward to that. Anywho's, so now that we have our basic foundation on, like this area you see over here with just like general redness and very tiny pimples, you can go in with a Tarte shade tape, just to quickly go over it. So the method that I do for like these ones that are really hard to conceal, you don't have to do that for your entire face because it will be super cakey and it's just unnecessary. So essentially, very simple, very high school method. I take my concealer, I take a little bit of it. You can't even see it. It's like a tiny squeeze of the tube, and you go really gentle. You bounce it on with your fingertip. No pressure, yeah? Like this. Gently tapping it in. This concealer, even though it's so high coverage, it blends out really well with just a few taps. even though I'm not using a brush or like a sponge or anything. I'm just using my fingertip, and I'm not even blending out a whole lot, which I think you can do if you want, but it's pretty much like sort of even out already. Yeah, you can just see, right? That took all of what, a few seconds, and yes, you still can see this because I mean really, I'm really zoomed in right now. But if I'm on a Zoom call, like at this distance, or if I'm right up next to you in person, you wouldn't be able to tell at all. You like see these two spots are not that super obvious anymore. For sure, like if you're really close to someone, they will be able to see what's going on. But you shouldn't be that close to anyone right now anyway. So what we want to do is try and kind of take down that redness and how raised it is. And honestly, like you can't really change how raised it is, but you can make it less visible. And this concealer seems to have a way that, like, I've tried this with other concealers, but this one, this Makeup Forever one, it actually seems to absorb light in a way that with other concealers, if you use them on raised areas in your skin where there's a lot of texture, sometimes those concealers would just reflect light off. So you can see like specific areas where there is more product and where like the skin is not even in terms of texture. And a spot like this, if you had to use a different concealer, usually if I turn, you can be able to see like the way the light hits it will be so different. But this product is so special because it seems to just blur your attention away, blur like twist light away so that you don't get so much attention in the places that you don't want the attention to go. So usually after I'm done with it, I would definitely set it with either Hourglass loose powder or the RCMA finishing powder for no color powder for a more budget friendly option. I love both equally. It just depends on what kind of look I'm going for that day. Both holds up the setting really well. Now, if your skin is really dry, you really don't have to. But I have very oily, acne prone skin, so I will always have to set my makeup, even in like dry conditions. So when you're going over the more severe area, you want to keep it really, really like gentle. You don't want to move products around. I like to use a big brush and just go around like, you know. And if you're heading out, you definitely want to bring the concealer and the powder along with you because this method requires you to kind of basically tap on, I guess, or layer on a bit of pigment with the concealer. So you want to, there's a higher chance for the product to basically settle into your skin lines, or if your pimple is starting to scab, or if the product might break up because you're putting on more of it than usual. You definitely want to have it on handy if you just in case you need to touch up, and it's easy to touch up. You put a little bit more of the concealer on top, just a little smidge more, and then reset it again with powder and you'll be good to go. I've been obsessed with like blushes lately, and this is a new one that I am loving. It's Lily by Red. It's quite a dark blush, so when I have it on, I do have to be really careful with how much, because sometimes I forget and I just use it like I would with any other blushes and just go like. But this is most of the time you only need one dab, and it is quite pigmented. What do you guys think of this look where, the eagle thing where you put like a little bit of blush over your nose as well to look for that cutesy sunburn look? What do you think of that? Do you like it? I feel like it makes me look like 50% younger and 50% sick like that. Like if I have like a really runny nose or something, like a bad cold, you know. And okay, and that is the look for today. Honestly, like just being able to look in the mirror and not see all that redness and pimply grossness staring at me in the face immediately is good enough. But of course, when I'm home and not going out, I'm not going to wear this on my skin. This is definitely for emergency users only. And that concludes my video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.